Man, that is... Oh, here we go. Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to do, well, we're going to obviously be looking at some more music, and today we're going to be looking at music Destiny 2, and we're going to be looking at a song called The Journey. However, what I wanted to do, because when I saw this song, and then I saw there was a live version, an orchestral and choir version, by the Game Music Collective, and I thought maybe it would be interesting to look at that one, because it's always interesting. I mean, obviously it's interesting to listen and analyze songs that way, but also to see how they're performed, I think is adds another level of analysis, which would be interesting to go through. So I thought, let's go and watch the live version of this. So this is Destiny 2 Journey live by performed by the Game Music Collective. So obviously I'll put a link in the description to this video and to their channel. So make sure you go check them out. Okay, so yeah, before we get into the video, obviously please do like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. It helps me out a massive amount. I really appreciate it. And also leave a comment too, one, because it helps the algorithm and that helps me out as well. But also, you can comment what kind of songs and stuff you'd like us to react to and go through in the future. I'm building up a big list of songs, and I would love to take your feedback, and we can, you know, go through the suggestions that you want. I'm more than happy to do that. So what we'll do is we're going to watch this and react to it all the way through without stopping for the first time, and then afterwards we'll go back and go play it again and then go through it and start and stop. Right, so let's get into it then. Okay, so we'll go into this view as it is a video, so we can watch it. Oh, well, we can watch it better. So yes, let's stop, you know, wasting time. Let's get into it. So let's watch and listen to Journey from Destiny 2, performed live by the Game Music Collective in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's that. I love that. That is beautiful. It's so ominous and sad. I love it. Much I can say at the moment is it's beautiful. Cool. Okay, wow. Oh, here we go. Okay, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. Man, that is... Oh, here we go. Man. Oh, okay, cool. It's not done. Oh. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's put... Oh, no, don't play again. I guess... you know, to support and, I suppose, aid the narrative of... Like, Destiny 2 is obviously a gigantic... space opera, essentially. It's a hugely epic game, multiple planets. Long lasting, has been gone for years, so you need to have music that supports the scale of the game and the scale of the themes and the scale of the story. Like it's a game that's set in space. It's set out, you know, where things are, you know, supposedly infinite, right? So you need hugely dramatic, layered and music to support that story, and this is just a perfect example of how you would do that. It was a slower build than probably some of the songs that we've listened to more recently, but that makes more sense in a live performance. You want to, you know, you don't want to blow your load, let's just say, right at the start. You want to bring people on a journey with you, and you would do that with whether you're performing music or a play or whatever. You have to take them on a journey, and that song certainly does take you on a journey. It starts off very, very slow, and it then gets a lot more dramatic, but not yeah, it gets a lot more dramatic and builds to a really nice climax, which we'll talk about as we go through. There was a lot that I wrote down, as you may have noticed, as we were going through it. So I think it's probably best that we just get on with looking at it again, and this time we're going to stop and start and point out some things. So yeah, let's give this another watch, shall we? I've said on other videos, I can't remember what it was now. But anyway, I think it might have been the Guild Wars video, Guild Wars 2 video we did. The cello is, which is what we're looking at right now, it's probably one of my favorite instruments. It's probably, no, it's probably one of my favorite instruments. The sound, the how can I describe it? The deeper sound, obviously similar to a violin or any other string instrument that uses a bow, but you can create such an atmospheric, kind of unsettling tone with a cello. I think adding a main cello like melody lines into any song makes it more dramatic, and I think this song is just pure drama all the way through. Oh. I'm assuming that's cello. It looks quite smaller. Maybe it's something very similar, but still, I still stand by what I said. Because the guy next to him is obviously playing much lower, much bigger. Yes. I think it's so important to see how you can get so much from just two people. You know, you've got one person who's just, holding down. The person we're looking at is just doing very slow legato notes, while the other person who has the higher timbre instrument can just do a little bit more with the melody and can play a few more notes. But like them working together creates so much. It creates so much, and it really, really draws you in. And it's just two instruments, and it sounds so much bigger than it is. And I mean, like, we've had, these two very large string instruments, who are obviously quite heavy and are wide in their sound. And then what do you introduce next? Do you introduce a violin playing quite high notes, because that cuts through really, really nicely. I'd say the start is like, it's kind of ominous, it's kind of almost sad in a way. I mean, it's obviously in minor, but it's kind of dreamy. It's just kind of very layered, and you know immediately that this song is going to go somewhere. You know immediately from the drama it creates. And you can hear the melody that the higher violins are playing, like the do 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 do. That is gonna stick in your head. That's what's gonna make this song memorable, and that's why you give it to the instruments that are gonna cut through a bit more, because then it sticks with you. beautiful. It's really, really, really beautiful. Now, that's what I saw before, and this is why I'm really glad we decided to watch a live version, because look at everyone in this shot aside from me. Look how focused everybody is, and like you can see the person who's playing the cello who's looking at I can't obviously show you. Can I? Yeah, my mouse is looking at this guy. And they're all watching. Everybody is so focused. Everybody's watching each other. That's why everything sounds so tight. That's why everything sounds so, I mean, all perfect in a way, because they're all working together. They're all doing their job to serve the song. This is an example of good, proper, professional musicians. Who are there to serve the song, which is what they're doing. Because I think it's important to point out, because obviously it's always very impressive to see very talented musicians playing their instrument, but there's always a bit more going on, and it's good to appreciate the extra things that these large orchestras and bands have to do. It's a really, I think is a good thing to point out. It's how that cello just cuts through right underneath. It really, really settles everything. It really grounds everything. It's just like layers of strings doing just the legato melody that they're doing is probably one of my favorite. In terms of orchestral classical music, this is one of my favorite kind of sounds, really. Such care, and nuance into how they're playing. It's really hard to not get swept up with it. It's not just soulless. It's you can feel the emotion behind it. Right. Anyway, let's get into it, because we're getting some drums. And I think one thing I want to say is obviously drums is obviously pushing the song forward. We've had 3 minutes, nearly 3 minutes of song, so we're almost halfway through. So we do need to start, going into the second phase, and that's what this is doing now. And the drums is going to push us further up there, and there's other things further in the song that push us even further. But we'll get to those when we get to those. What was I going to say? Yes, so I think the melody that these violins are playing is very something that you probably would not only hear during obviously a Destiny thing, but I think if you were to play the same sort of song, like over a normal fantasy game or anything like that, I think it would fit. So I think it really does. It really does have that fantasy sound, that not just sci-fi, but the fantasy sound, which I really, really like. And I really like the fact that the drums or the percussion that they're using is kind of like a war drum, right? That's what this game essentially is, or what it's about the fight, it's about, yeah. Look, it's about the fight, right? And that's kind of what this whole thing is. Or at least what I interpret the kind of percussion it's using is trying to interpret, or is trying to convey. That's what I should say. That's what I mean, because the dun 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 is very much like you would an army marching to a fight or a battle or whatever would have drummers playing something probably quite similar to that. Then we have the choir. Yeah, oh, and let's play a bit more. Let's play a bit more before we start talking. Yes, okay, so we're seeing some good, technique here. Like, you look at this dude and this dude just creating a lot of space in your mouth and having a very relaxed jaw is really important to have a resonant sound. Um, and it's important in this song to have a resonant sound because they're all it's a whole male choir. It's very masculine sounding. There isn't any, from what I can tell, any particularly high tenory voices. It's more kind of lower set baritones. It's supposed to be I don't know. It's supposed to add more heaviness, more grit to it. I suppose it keeps. Yeah, I think like if you were to have those higher voices in it, it would obviously escalate into a very epic orchestral track. But I think keeping it with the deeper male voices keeps it a bit more grounded, which I like. I like that a lot. Hold on. Yeah, I just wanted to just something I noticed. Like, notice how everyone is kind of moving with how the melody of the music is going. Everyone's kind of moving with it, which means everybody's feeling it, which is really important. Everybody's feeling the music. They're not just robotically performing the notes how they're written. They're really putting themselves into the song, and that kind of makes such a difference. You cannot, I don't think that you cannot really fully connect as an audience to watching and experiencing something like this unless the performers on stage are putting themselves into the song, and they are, and that's why I feel like this is a great performance. One thing that I do find interesting is I really wonder, in terms of the choir, like, is the language that they are singing in, like, maybe you could tell me in the comments if that is a language, a real language, or is it like a kind of like a Latin, or is it made up? Um, because I'd find that really interesting. Like, I have sung a few songs in different languages in my time, but I've never sung a song in a made up language. So I would find that quite interesting to see if that is like maybe it's, I don't know, a different language, or if it's something that Destiny 2's music producers made up. Like, I'd find that quite interesting. And now this is obviously we're building up to the high climax of the song because everything is now in. Everyone's in taking part. No one's sitting out anymore. Everyone's involved and the layers are there. And that's, you know what, let's play a bit more. I'm about to go into a different place, I think, but it's just really swells. It's like really emotional. It's just really nice. I like this. This next little phase where it's very staccato. It's very different, completely different to how the song has been all the way up to this point. Where we have very short, sharp notes, and all the strings are now muted, so you get this kind of very heavy and gritty sound on the instruments, on the string instruments that have been so lovely and silky up to this point are now really like tight and sharp. It adds a completely different feeling to this song. It elevates it to like a higher level of drama, but it adds that aggression, and let's listen to it a bit more. And you can see again, look, they're all looking at each other. It's like they're all so tight because all these notes are really short. Like you have to be tight because obviously if you miss it or you do it a bit late, everyone's going to hear you. So they're all looking at each other. They're all paying attention to each other. And then the horns are in. The horns of war, well, look, you know what horns do. It just adds an extra level. It's just we're going up and up and up. And now we've got, again, we've got everything back to the main melody, but everyone's involved. We got a drum. We got drums again, which just elevates it a little bit more. Adds the pace to the song. And then we have a key change. And why do we have that? Could you push the song up that extra notch without a key change? It'd be quite hard to do when you've already basically filled the sound full of, you know, wind instruments and horns and strings and a choir. Like there's not, and percussion obviously. There's not much more you can do. So that's why you up the key, because then it adds that extra level, and we're still going. It's bigger sound. This is it. The drum adds so much. It's going to really drive us to the end. And these two, I say this so much in songs that we watch, but it finishes how we start with them two. And that's the song. And again, that's just phenomenal. You know, I really enjoyed that a lot, and there's just so much there, and such good examples of good musicianship within this. It's just amazing. But anyway, we'll end it here because this video's long, as all my videos are. So yeah, if you like the song, let me know in the comments below. If you did not, tell me why. Is there anything that you liked or you noticed about the song that I didn't? Please put those in the comments below as well. And obviously put your suggestions of songs to look at in the future in the comments too. Yes, but otherwise, please do like the video if you enjoyed it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I think that's everything. So thank you all so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.